Today we will be making this cute crocheted snowman, change purse, or credit card holder. I thought that a snowman would be cute for January. I'm Rose, and I'm so glad you're here. You will need a white yarn. I'm using Big Twist in the white color. You will also need a black yarn. I'm using Karen Simply Soft in the charcoal heather color. A crochet hook. I'm using 5mm and a pair of scissors, a needle, and then you will need 2 placeholders. And for this specific one, you will need buttons, which I found these at Joann Fabrics. First, we are going to start off with leaving a long tail. Second, we will do a slip knot, and we are going to chain 30. Now you're going to follow your chain all the way back to make sure it's not twisted, and you're going to slip stitch back into the first chain. Now you should have a circle that looks like this, and you are going to begin with single crochets into the back loops only all the way around for row 2. As we come to the end of row 2 and into row 3, we are just going to do another single crochet instead of a slip stitch. So for row 3, we are going to single crochet all the way around into both stitches, the front and the back stitch. Instead of just the back stitch, now we'll be going into both. For row 4 through 15, we are going to continue to single crochet all the way around until we come to row 15. We are not going to add any slip stitches. We are going to work continually all the way around until we come to the end of row 15.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you've tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. That you showed up was written in my palm. You are a statement that explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day.
coming to the end of round 15. I just want to make sure that I am all lined up where I began, and then I will make my slip stitch and then tie off, and we will be all done with this part of the change purse. Now we are going to fold the bag in half with the string at the right side, and this is where we're going to work our tail, and we are going to slip stitch the bottom of the change purse. You're going to slip your crochet hook into both sides of the change purse, and you're going to pull the string through and make a slip knot. And you're going to work all the way down the bottom of the bag until you get to the other side, and that will close the bottom of the change purse. I am working through both stitches on both sides for a tighter stitch all the way across. It's not just the back loops only. I'm going through both of the stitches through the front and the back, as you could see right there. As you come to the last stitch, you're going to pull it tight and make a slip stitch with a knot, and then you will be all complete with the bottom half of the row. I'm going to just cut the excess of my string, and then I'm going to flip over my work so that you can see what it's going to look like. And we are going to work on this side of the bag to work our little flap so that we can close the change purse. This is what the bag looks like inside. You can see the little seam down there, and then this is what the seam will look like on the outside. Now you're going to take your bag and you're going to find the first two stitches on both sides, and you are going to put your place marker into each side, because we are going to work in between to make the top of the change purse with the flap that comes over. Now we're going to work into the stitch to the left of your stitch marker on the right, and we're going to place a slip knot into that first chain, and then we're going to go back into the same stitch with a single crochet. Now we're going to continue to work single crochets all the way across until we get to the other stitch marker, stopping at the stitch right before the stitch marker. At this stitch, we are going to now chain one, and then we're going to turn our work, and we are going to single crochet back into that same stitch we just made for the second row of the flap. For the second row, we will crochet all the way back again. When we get back to the last stitch, we are going to chain one, and we're going to turn our work, and we're going to put a single crochet back into the same stitch for row 3. We are going to do this for a total of 8 rows. When you complete row 8, we are going to work row 9 with a space for the button. So if you can find the middle stitch from the each side, I kind of just go through each side and then figure out which two are the middle buttons or stitches, I'm sorry, and then we are going to single crochet all the way until you get to that middle stitch or 2 stitches, and then we are going to, instead of single crochet into them, we're going to chain 2, skip the 2, and single crochet into the 3rd stitch and continue all the way across until we get to the other side again for row 9. For row 10, we are going to just single crochet all the way back, including those 2 stitches we just made for our button. So we will just single crochet even through those 2 also. And once you get to the end of row 10, we will tie off and make a knot and then cut our string. Now we are going to go where the stitch marker is, and we are going to work a brim around the flap of the change purse. So we're just going to work in all the edging. We're going to put our string, our yarn, into the right where the stitch holder was, and we're going to make a slip knot, and then we're going to put our first single crochet back into that same stitch. Now I'm going to work the edging of the flap. I'm going to go into each of the stitches along the edge, and then I'm going to make a single crochet all the way around until I get to the other side of with the stitch marker. At the top here, I just go into the stitch. I don't add any more stitches. It lays flat, so you just go into each of the stitches and continue around with single crochets. When you get to the end, you're going to take out your stitch marker, and then you are going to make a slip stitch into the last stitch, and then you will cut your yarn and then tie off, and then you will be able to tie in all your ends. Now we are going to add our buttons, and I'm going to add the eye buttons first, and I'm just going to place my stitch marker right where I want my one eye to go as I add on my other one. Make sure before you tie your knot that this is exactly where you want it. I ended up having to go back and redo my nose last time, so just make sure that it's exactly where you want it before you tie your knot and everything. Now I'm going to add the nose button to the change purse. This one you have to work from the inside of the bag. You don't have to flip it. You just could go up through the bag from the inside and then put your nose on. Just make sure that you have it exactly lined up before you tie it in. That way you don't have to go back and redo it. Now I'm going to add the smile to our snowman. First, I'm going to add a stitch marker to know exactly where I want the smile to end. Now I'm going to get my black yarn and I'm going to pull it through the stitch from the other side, the inside, and I'm going to pull it all the way through with just a little bit of the tail left. And then we're going to work down and start our stitches. I kind of go through 2 stitches at a time, and that will make 1 stitch, and then I'm going to go back through and bring my needle down to the next stitch and pull through so that it makes, starting to make the line of the smile. Here I'm going to go work in a diagonal so that it can go right into the bottom of the smile, and then I'm going to work across until I get to my stitch marker, and then we will go up. So here can be a little bit tricky because I learned that you can't just go straight up to the next one. You have to go back through this same loop as you did the last time, and then you can work, we're going to work backwards, so we're going to put it through the front of the stitch, and then we're going to come up, and that makes the diagonal. Instead of going through the back loop, we're going to go through the front now, and then we will then go up to the next stitch, and then we will form the other half of the smile. Here's the last stitch, and then you will take your place marker out, and then I just kind of fixed the stitches how I wanted them, and then your smile is all done. Add a stitch to the top of each side of the smile, and then you will pull it through and tie it in the back, and you will do that for both sides. Now you will tie in your ends, and we are all done. I hope you enjoyed making this change purse with me today. Until next time, eat, sleep, pray, and crochet. Thank you for watching.